There are so many movies that Madhavan could have starred in. But if there is one character that Madhavan really exemplifies, let me think, it would be the character of Leonardo DiCaprio, not in the Titanic, but in The Wolf of Wall Street. He would be like the Wolf on Wall Street because he's smart, he knows his stuff, he's persuasive, he can be cold-blooded, but he's a nice guy.
A movie character that Madhavan reminds me of, possibly Jerry Maguire. Not with all the hustle of the real character, but somewhere he has Jerry Maguire-ish characteristics, I think.
The movie character which reminds me of Madhavan is Babu Rao. Why? Just because, like Babu Rao, he is very helpful to everyone who comes to him. Like Babu Rao, he has innovative solutions to every problem. And the third being, you can see another side of him when he is drunk. So, just reminds me of Babu Rao.
I think the movie character that reminds me of Madhavan the most is Amir Khan's character in Three Idiots. I can almost picture him as this first bencher who used to top in every exam in school and college and basically throw any challenge at him, and he has to ace it.
I think because of the fact that you are so upright, you stand for what's right, you always cover the back of your team. It has to be Ajay Devgan from the movie Raid.
Manny from Ice Age. Manny knows the most about the jungle. Manny knows his way around things, and so does Madhavan.
Lot. I mean, he's done a lot of nice things. But I think what I remember is on Vanda's farewell, I got a little tipsy, and the way he helped me was fantastic.
My most memorable moment with Madhavan is, I think he'll also remember, was in 2011. I remember there was a flight from Hyderabad to Bangalore. I was actually reprimanded by the air hostess because I was found taking videos of the air hostess, and Madhavan was sitting next to me and he was sleeping and he dozed off. I thought he was sleeping, and I remember it was a funny incident because I got really reprimanded by air hostess, cabin crew came. It was really funny, that episode. I think that's the most memorable moment I've had with Madhavan, and that will remain, I think, for a long time.
I was scheduled to go do some consumer work on Good Day, and he very sweetly booked a cab for me. I thought that was really sweet.
I think one of the craziest thing that I've heard in Britannia, and something that I've not lived but your story, and I'm sorry that I'm going to share this, is you hugging Varun and promising him in his house that you will turn around the brand, and that was one of the most crazy thing that I've heard about you.
Madhavan Shekhar helped me a lot in terms of the task and the milestone and the way we work to complete a project from marketing side of view.
I think just before he left was when my interaction with him was the most, and I have to say it was definitely memorable, which is working on Britannia Cow World Cup jug.
So my most memorable moment with Madhavan is working with Madhavan itself. So there's no particular moment, but the overall tenure that we had, I think it's been a pleasant experience working with him.
Many memorable moments with Madhavan, not on work basically, but the 5 p.m. discussion over Tiwari's after post-meal snack. So great advice that he has given me on work front.
But what I remember most is this one time that he was talking on the phone to somebody from an agency, and I won't say which agency and to whom, but you could see that he was getting irritated, and at one point he said, "Yaar, do you have any brains? If you don't have brains, I can't deal with you."
I've worked with Madhavan on one project, which was the 100 Years Media project, the media planning execution bit. So that was my one working experience with Madhavan, and had a great time at that.
I remember the time he used to call me during my mat leave, chat up with me, come and visit the kids, say something thoughtful and nice, even in office hours sometimes. Just do these small thoughtful things which actually showed he's a really, really nice guy. And we used to trade a lot of gossip, where he used to come and check up with me like, "Oh, do you know something more than me?" And he likes to go out and drink and get the agency girls drunk. So yeah, he's all about having a good time. And he's good fun.
Now, this is a strange question. What is the animal that reminds you of Madhavan? I think it's fox because he's quite clever in all his decisions.
I think he's a snake because he is very sly in the sense that he wriggles out of very, very rough situations without any harm. He can scare people if he wants to by just raising his hand up and asking the right questions or making his intent out there. But I think he's a snake because he knows how to move his way up around his career.
The animal that remind me of Madhavan, owl, just because he is wise and he can get his way out of any situation.
And for that very reason, I think I associate Madhavan with a cat. I think he's a cat at whatever he does.
And I think the answer is fairly easy. He's worked on this brand and he quite literally lives the brand, not because of the brand alone but because of his personality. I think he's a tiger. He was one of the first people on the brand that I worked with when I was in trade marketing who was absolutely passionate about what he was trying to do with the brand.
I think it has to be leopard because of the pace at which you work. It's commendable and it's something I really, really admire.
The most adorable habit of Madhavan is after having daru and when he's proper 3-4 shots down, then that real version of Madhavan comes out and that's the most fun part of it.
Adorable habit of Madhavan is that only that he gives great advice because he has great knowledge and depth about a lot of topics and circumstances that he has personally or professionally faced in life. So great human being, great person, giving such solid advice which is very practical also.
One thing that I really find impressive about him is that he takes himself really seriously, and you better take him seriously. He's touchy, he is confident, he'll sell you anything he believes into and you better don't get into his trap.
Wherever I get stuck, in fact he was so nice as to take out some time and kind of make me understand some fundamentals of marketing, etc. So very few people who do that. I think it's a great thing that he is so helpful.
If you look at certain traits of Madhavan, like people would have said earlier, Madhavan is a master delegator. So he knows that which work he needs to do and which work he needs to pawn off. And the way he pawns off work is amazing to see. That's an art by itself.
He is extremely sharp, knows the right from the wrong, knows what works, what possibly will not work. And I thought I found that definitely to be a very, very strong quality of Madhavan's.
The most adorable habit of Madhavan is his nod, which goes like, or like, which essentially you don't know whether he's agreeing with you or making fun of you in his own head. But I think that's the most adorable habit of his.
He's a guy I respect. I admire him for standing by what he believes in. He won't let things go by saying कि ठीक है यार boss ने बोला है कर लेते हैं. He doesn't do that. He only does what he believes. And once you convince him, then I think you can rest easy because he will push it through and he will get it done.
I think when I moved to marketing, I was just having lunch in the cafeteria and you just came up to me. You asked me how's it going? Is there anything that you could help me with? So you were generally very helpful, very willing to offer your advice. That was really sweet.
Never gives up, doesn't leave any stone unturned.
He doesn't hold any grudges at all. So he's not a petty guy, he's not someone who will get sensitive about silly things. These are two qualities I really admire about Madhavan.
And he's one of those rare bosses who will change himself according to the personality of their subordinates. So that is one thing that I really like about Madhavan.
I think everything about you is adorable as a boss, but the most adorable has to be the fact that you never disturb your reportees when they are on holidays, and I'm so happy for that.
Since we belong to the same college, same batch, he kept spreading random rumors around me, जिसमें से nothing was true. So that's the most annoying habit because he made up all the stories one night and started spreading it.
I think he is extremely short-tempered. He has very little patience. Sometimes he completely blows his top.
Sometimes he becomes too negative about everything, and sometimes he says nahi ye work nahi ho raha hai, even though the thing is that it is showing good signs of working, but still he'll say the negative thing more than the positive thing.
Are you really a South Indian?
How does he always manage to keep himself so much grounded?
What is with that bangle box that you used to carry around for your lunch box?
How do you always manage to become the favorite of your bosses?
How do you manage to wake up so early and work?
Okay, if I have to describe Madhavan in one word, that would be go-getter.
I would say sharp.
क्या बंदा है यार?
I'll describe Madhavan as Narad Muni, the gossip queen of this company.
Well, I'll use two words: corporate Chanakya.
Okay, so one word in which Madhavan can be described is brilliant.
Passionate.
I'll say vocal and articulate.
Will be aspirational.
Pushy.
Sharp, really sharp.
One of them is complex, the other is strategist, and yes, he has a strategy for everything and anything under the roof.
Mr. Professor.
Master delegator.
He's quite meticulous.
One thing that defines Madhavan is he's an angry young man.
Stubborn, but in a good way.